Welcome to Web Manga. I am Agent Manga, and this is My Hero Academia chapter 267. Sorry that this review is out a little later, but last week I thought that My Hero didn't have a chapter, so let's just get started. There's a cover page this week, and it's of Mirako with a I think it's just like a prosthetic arm, and it's all made of belts and chains, and Mirako is surrounded by bunny rabbits. The first scene that we see is of Hawks talking to Tokuyami about Hawks' weakness, and even Hawks knew that his weakness was fire, so it's bad news that he's going up against Hawks. Hawks is going up against Dobby, and since Dobby has like the most powerful fire quirk I've seen. Oh, and there's something I really like about this scene is that Hawks, being the number 2 hero, and he's just talking to Todoroki. There's like down below you see like hearts and like a speech bubble that says Hawks, so there's clearly fans nearby, and he's still talking about this. The next scene we see is that all 4 of the UA students from both class A and B are both in Fat Gum's fat, so Fat Gum's just like taking them away from the battle. So it's just like the students are trying to ask Fat Gum why don't they just stay, since they were so effective in the beginning. And the only reason that they were around is that they basically had the students with the AoE large area of effect abilities go in first, and then once they do all their stuff, Fat Gum would get them out of there and like go back to the rear of the battle. It's just like we get to see some photos, we get to see some images of Mount Lady and the other heroes. Like, one thing I really like is that Mount Lady gets shot, and then in the next panel we get to see like Mount Lady punching the ground, pissed since she did get shot. We see Tokuyami looking down at Hawk, looking back at the building when he was one, and then he sees fire, and we get to see Hawks. Well, we don't get to see Hawks straight away, but we see that we get confirmation that Hawks killed twice, so far out. And like Dobby is just like burning away Hawks' feathers and all that. So I don't know if say Hawks or like Mirako after this raid will be able to be heroes from now on, because it seems like they've been taking a lot of damage during this arc. Like, it's not like My Hero is good about people taking damage, like Midoriya breaking his arms, Ida getting a sword lodged to his having like nerve damage after that. It's just not like you just get a few scars. Like, yeah, the damage sticks. So I don't know how Hawks and Mirako later in this chapter are going to survive. Well, Dobby is pissed, and he says he's heartbroken, and we find out that Dobby's tear ducts have been destroyed, so that means that he can't cry. So that, like, we see like the scars under his eyes. I just thought that was like aesthetic, but it seems like that's his tear ducts were destroyed, were burnt out. I don't know if this was self-inflicted or maybe somebody. I don't know if it was like purposely done or not. So let's see. Dobby is just like he's not acting sad, but he's acting mad and happy at the same time. Like, he's just going. One scene that I really like is that Dobby is burning with fire, and I didn't get what I'm checking out right now isn't the original Viz translation, but it's basically this. It's similar, but I remember the gist. It's just like Dobby is like he's saying he's heartbroken about what Hawks did to Twice, and you guys know that Hawks is one of my favorite villains, but just seeing that this chapter made me feel a little bad for Hawks. I know I hated him, but I don't think this guy deserves to. I hated that he killed Twice. I hated that he betrayed Twice, but he's still a good guy. And like Hawks is wondering who Dobby is, and like wondering who he is. We also get to see a backstory to Hawks, which I really quite like. It's just like, you know how most heroes like Midoriya and Shoto and Bakugo, they were all inspired by All Might. Hawks was inspired by Endeavor, and we like see him as a child, and he's talking to the people who trained him to be a hero, and he's holding an Endeavor action figure, and it's just like Hawks wants to be like Endeavor, like a hero who protects people. Like, it's pretty cool because not every person is inspired by All Might. Like Kirishima isn't inspired. Well, he is inspired by All Might, but his primary hero that he's focusing on is like Red Riot. It's just like it's not always All Might. Sure, he was the symbol of peace, but I get that like kids would be inspired by people who have a similar quirk to them. And then we get like a scene where Hawks asks who Dobby is, and then you just get Dobby having a black speech bubble. And I'm just thinking, this is like revealing Dobby's true identity and all that. And like Hawks seems shocked after this. And it's just like Dobby is explaining that he wants to bring the entire hero society down, and eventually he says that he wants Stain's ideals. Because remember, Dobby was influenced to join the League of Villains. The only reason that he joined was because of Stain. If it wasn't for Stain, Dobby would probably just be still walking around burning people up by himself. He wouldn't be a part of the League of Villains. He wouldn't be a part of all this. So that's probably that like Dobby is coming back. And then we get Dobby saying that he's gonna kill kill Hawks. And then we get to see a scene with Gigantomachia. And something I really like is that on Gigantomachia's radio, it says Zoni instead of Sony. So it's just like, it's a Zoni product instead of Sony, so it's different, so no copyright stuff. It's just very funny, and I think Gigantomachia is going to be in this fight because he definitely seems like he should be fighting soon. Then let's see, we go to Jakku Hospital. We get back to the fight between Mirako and the high-end Nomus. We get to see more of the high-end Nomu's quirks, like the female Nomu seems to be using either her fat or like a liquidy substance. We also get to see like the Majin Buu Nomu, who's the one that looks like Majin Buu, use like it's either bone or like I thought it was like bone or either hair, but it seems more like bone here. And it's just like Mirako, it looks like her arm is destroyed in one panel, absolutely. And she notices that like the Nomu are starting to be like, they're starting to wake up, they're starting to use their quirks more efficiently. Still, these Nomu's physical strength should be enough to like body, like one high-end Nomu was able to physically body like Endeavor, so, and he's like, I'd say he's pretty physically capable. Then we get to see like a part of the Elephant Nomu's his quirk. And it seems like he's able, like the Elephant Nomu is like a physical Nomu, and it's increasing its hand. and size, because it seems like it's bigger than the rest of its body. It seems like the Nomu keep it. It seems like it's like Mirako is going after Shigaraki and the Doctor, and that's pretty much what she's planning on doing. And she wants to kill, well, not kill. She wants to stop Shigaraki from being awakened. Which personally, I think that if she does do that, he's just gonna wake up. He's not gonna be completely stable, but he'll still be a threat. His quirks won't be as controllable, and also that Shigaraki is not a very stable guy at the best of circumstances. So, and we get to see the Doctor like being like steam coming out of his nose and his glasses breaking, and Mirako tries to kick the tank of Shigaraki, but her leg gets run through by a tentacle from the Majin Buu Nomu. It's just like this. She's not gonna be a hero after this. She's gonna have to retire. Like it doesn't matter. Like in My Hero Academia, there is no real chance for you. Like if you take this much damage, you're not gonna be a hero for like other heroes. Like these guys won't be able to be like heroes anymore. That's what I personally think. Then we get to see a scene. We get to see the ending of both parts of the chapter. We get to see that Tokuyami comes in to try to save Hawks, since basically Hawks has been a mentor to him, and since quirks are both like bird-based, like his Tokuyami's head is a bird, and Hawks' quirk is that he has wings, so they're both bird-like, and he did study under Hawks, so Tokuyami would be it's kind of like a Night Eye and Gran Torino for Deku. It's just like imagine if Gran Torino was on the ground about to be say killed by let's see, say just some random Nomu. Deku would even if Deku was like, he'd go over there and try to save Gran Torino, and poor. If Night Eye was still alive, then Deku would do the same thing, but Night Eye's gone, poor guy. And then we get to see like Endeavor go up against the Nomu, and Endeavor showed up, and so Crust is going to show up, because if Crust, like, I'm assuming that Endeavor had to defeat the fat High-End Nomu, so that means that Crust would be there as well. So that's what's going on. And then and it seems like Mirako is going to finish kicking the tank. So that's it for the chapter. This is if you like the video, press the like button. If you like my content, subscribe. If you want to share this with a friend, share it. I'm not forcing you to do anything. In fact, you can do all the opposite stuff. Like, it's a free country. And this is Wave Manga. I'm Agent Manga, signing out.